comedy. I think Shuli even did some comedy, and I hate that guy.
Why do you hate Shuli?
Deal with a weight loss company that was going to advertise on the station and exclusively on Stern's channels. And then Ralph came in and Gary came in and Shuli came in and they all submarined it, man.
I mean, did you ever get Casey trapped in a room? I mean, you seem to. No, it was always fun.
Casey probably break my neck. I don't know that he seems like one of those guys who like to wrestle with you. I had a whole video. Yeah, I know. People say I should have sold it and made millions, but
what was the thought process going through your mind at this point of shooting in the studio? And how did you?
I thought, there's the King's Throne. I told my buddy, I was like, dude, we should record this. Like, we're in Howard's studio, the realm, the theater of the god.
Everybody welcome Cabbie, Lee. What are we calling you today?
You can just call me Lee, that's fine.
Last time we talked, we ran through a lot of the things. I went back and thought, man, you were in that inner circle with Howard. How often did you guys hang out? And I think one of the lines that I really liked that you said, you're like, we were work friends. I didn't think anything about it, but it was nice that we...
That's exactly it. We were work friends. I never looked to... It's like Stuttering John. I never hung out with him. Never, not once. I never went to the bar with him. I never went out for dinner with him. He never invited me to anything. You know, he was a loser and I was a loser. So we were both kind of losers at the same time. But, yeah, they were all just people I worked with. I mean, that's with a few of the interns, but, you know, that's just part of being a radio disc jockey.
Were they guys or girls? I have to ask. I mean, you were into...
They were girls, definitely girls.
I mean, did you ever get Casey trapped in a room? I mean, you seem to... No, it was always fun.
Casey probably break my neck. I don't know that he seems like one of those guys who like to wrestle with you. He puts you in the submission hold and puts you down there and you'd be stuck.
You would like that, though. I remember, what did you...
No, I don't know. He's cute and all, but I don't know. No, I don't like forced sex. Prison sex doesn't turn me on.
Now, the other thing we didn't really get into, and the longer it goes by, maybe you'll be able to talk about. You had naked pictures of Howard, right? You went on Opie and Anthony and talked about this. Can you talk?
Man.
How did you?
Well,
can you?
I had a whole video. Yeah, I know. People say I should have sold it and made millions, but you know, there's some things you don't do. You know, there's like a guy code, I think.
But you go out and threaten him on his competitor's show. That's
of course I would. They got me fired. I got fired. So what are they gonna do?
How does one come about this tape? I mean, someone had to be as pissed off.
I got it from some friends who in the business who let's just say they used to provide security for people like Howard. So it was, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I got it from some roadie on a fucking tour bus. But, yeah, he was in a nice place and he was having sex. There you go. It's all gone, though. I got rid of it.
Yeah, I know. What, your mom? I got confused.
My mom, she passed away now.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Now, is this
She's dead.
This is your real mom, adopted mom? I'm confused by the family tree a little bit. Which mom was this?
Yeah, nobody gets the story. Here's the story, okay? Howard found my mom. Gary and the crew found my mother. And when I went to Minnesota to meet the rest of the family, I allowed her, because I wasn't close to my adoptive family, I allowed my mother to adopt me back. So she became she was my biological mother, but then in the eyes of the state of Minnesota, she became my real mother too. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so I had her adopt me back. I took her name. It was her father's, not her father, her husband's name out of respect to him. I'm going to change it again, though, because he turned out to be a little bit of an asshole. At the end. Yeah, when she died, he was an asshole. They told me by text 2 days later. Yeah, right?
That's an asshole. Right? Do that for me. Come on. Dickus.
Dickus. I still see that shit on the internet. Like, it'll be in a comment thread. Somebody will just, like, I'll be looking at stuff, like videos or whatever, and you read the comments, and somebody will say, Dickus.
That's a legacy. See, I was thinking about that too, because I research for these things. Believe it or not, I actually have to put in some.
That's a made up word, man. That's a made up word. Some chick I was dating made that word up.
We were talking about that inner circle stuff with you and Howard, though. Like, tell me any other fun stories or shit that you saw that maybe 10, 20 years ago you wouldn't want to talk about, but now you're like, screw it, I'm drinking pink wine, I'm talking to Brad, let's talk about it.
It is pink wine. You know, I wish I could give you more dirt, dude.
Yeah.
I really, the dirt I have would be on myself. Like, I have a porno that I produced that in Howard's studio that I don't know if I'm gonna put it out, but I might release it on the internet for streaming folks. It's a really bad movie. Ron Jeremy's in it. You know, he's got dementia now.
Yeah, well, and this is the one you shot in the studio, right? This is where you.
Right, yeah. I got the infamous rapist Ron Jeremy in it.
What was the thought process going through your mind at this point of shooting in the studio, and how did you?
I thought, there's the King's Throne. Nobody's had sex on it. I don't know if they have. So I had sex on it a few times with a few girls, and then I told my buddy, I was like, dude, we should record this. Like, we're in Howard's studio, the realm, the theater of the gods. Like, we should record this. And he's like, okay, I'll get the cameras.
How did you?
That was it.
Isn't it locked? How do you get in there? I mean,
it was locked, but I knew where the key was. You know where they kept the key? You worked in a radio station, right?
I worked at TV, so this will probably be the same.
Okay, same thing. You know the light that's like up on the door that says on air outside a studio? It was hidden inside that. That's where they hid it. And I saw somebody put it there one day, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. So I went over and I found it, and I was like, oh, it's a key. And Howard's studio was always locked until that day.
What year was that? Because you didn't get in any trouble.
That was like 2000. That was right when I got there, man.
And when did it become known that you did that? That was after you left in 2007, right? Did you?
Yeah, it was way after I left. Well, I think they probably knew. I think people probably knew, but nobody could prove it because Ron Jeremy kept trying to release some of it. And I was like, bro, you don't have the releases. Like, I own that movie. That's my movie. I don't want that shit out there. That's garbage, first of all. And second of all, you're going to get me fired or blackballed from radio. Nobody will ever hire me again. Because once something comes out like that, they're going to think that, oh, well, he's going to do that here if we hire him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
I should just put it out on a, maybe you can help me. I want to
no part.
stream it.
No part. I want no part. I want nothing to do with it. Well, how did Ron Jeremy get involved? Did you tell, was he around? Did you tell?
My friend Brentley knew him. I have a friend named Brentley of all things. And Brentley knew Ron Jeremy intimately and said, hey, Ron wants to work with you. And I was like, I said, I don't really like Ron Jeremy. I mean, he's cool to watching porn and shit, and Ron showed up and I knew he was a creeper. I said it from the very beginning. I was like, yo, this dude's weird, man. Like, he's always pawing at chicks. He's just fucking whipping his dick out. He thinks that everybody should suck on his dick. And I was like, and he never paid for anything, and that's what bothered me. He never paid for anything. And of all the people that were in the room, he had the most money. And he never paid, not one time. Like, I pay all the time. I always cover my shit, and I cover my friends, too, if I have to. But he never paid, and I told my friend, I'm like, dude, I don't trust that guy. And it comes out he's a fucking serial rapist.
Yeah.
And now he's in prison with dementia.
You were right. You were right again. Now, wait a minute. So this video means you're going to be in it? We're going to have to see your naked ass?
I could edit that out if you want.
Yeah, just leave that out. Well,
Should I put a blurb over it? Like your face dancing over my ass?
Don't even try. Just use Elvis back there. Use the Elvis picture.
Elvis is king. Oh, rest in peace, Lisa Marie. What was that? Lisa that died?
Yeah, very young.
Yeah, pretty sad.
Yep. That was a good.
Keep up on my Elvis. He liked beach wine too.
Were you in there that day she came in? She came into the show one day, and I think you were around during that time, right?
I don't know that I remember. I never met her. She's awesome. I always loved her. Hey, dude, I love anything Elvis. You too, obviously.
Yeah. My dad drew those. That's the art from my father that I have hanging in my. I guess the other thing we didn't talk about, people asked through the comments, the weight loss thing. I don't think I was listening this day. So you had this, you came in. I guess that people were like, oh, Howard didn't know that. You came in to plug something. Howard said, Cabbie's here to plug something. And then after it went shitty, Howard's like, I didn't know he was coming in to plug. Is that exactly how that worked, right?
That's exactly how that worked. You're good.
So what happened there?
Exactly how that worked. I had set up a deal with a weight loss company that was going to advertise on the station and exclusively on Stern's channels. And then Ralph came in and Gary came in and Shuli came in and they all submarined it, man. And they should have known, like, that was my shtick. Like, I was the guy who plugged shit. Like, how did I make my living?
And that was the end, right? You could have continued to go in and you worked. So wait, you worked at Sirius, right? Did you come over with Howard, or you just came over to do music stuff?
No, I went over by myself. When I got out of prison, I auditioned on Sirius to replace somebody, and I didn't get the job. And I was a little mad because when I was in prison, Stern kind of promised me, hey, when you get out, we'll take care of you if you ain't got a job. And I was like, okay. Well, when I got out, that didn't happen. So that was another reason I was a little bitter with the sex tape. I should have released it. Maybe I will someday.
The sex tape. I can't believe, though, you destroyed the smoking gun, though. The nude, disgusting...
Well, honestly, I thought it would bring nothing but bad upon me. I did. So karma's a bitch, and karma works throughout the universe, even after you're gone. So, like my mother said, do what's right, not what you think is right.
Yeah. Are you following what Stuttering John's up to these days? I think he seems to like to.
Oh my God, I've heard so much. What's going on? Tell me some of it.
I don't follow. I just see wars. Him and Shuli have this long-running war, and now KC's got it's the battle of all you.
KC's inserted into it. Isn't Anthony Cumia in it too?
I would assume. I would think everybody, really. I'm trying to stay out of it myself. I like to watch from this.
Everybody should pile on Stuttering John.
Do you think you could still kick his ass in the state you're in now?
Oh yeah, totally. It's funny. I was asking. My girlfriend said, she goes, Lexi's her name. She goes, have you ever been in another boxing match or thought about it? And I was like, I thought about wheelchair boxing, but I don't think it would work because you can't swing and hit the other guy. It'd be like this. It'd be kind of comical. But then she sent me this video of this guy flipping another guy over, two guys in wheelchairs getting a confrontation on Reddit. And the one guy flips the other guy over and tries to stab him.
Maybe kangaroo fighting, maybe.
Yeah, with my dead legs.
What's this girl, Lexi? How long have you been with this?
We've been together, God, it's got to be coming up on 3 years now, I think. She's amazing. She's got a beautiful daughter, and I'm in love. So it's part of the reason, most of the reason I moved to Raleigh.
You're in Raleigh, North Carolina now. Does she live with you, or are you guys together at all times?
No, she's got her own house. I live in an apartment downtown. Pretty fucking expensive, let me tell you. You don't realize it until you start paying rent again, how much it is. Because I was paying a mortgage before, but I'm back to paying rent. But no, she's got a big, beautiful house. She got it's probably a mansion in most people's eyes. But, nobody would believe me if I told them, so I don't have to tell them. I'll tell you, and they can deny it. But yeah, I'm dating a beautiful woman with a beautiful house and a beautiful kid.
It's awesome. Are you like
how are you doing? What's love life like?
Stepdad, I'm married, happy as shit, trying to retire, and got a 14-year. We have a 14-year-old. She had him earlier in her life, and that's enough. It's plenty. It's enough.
Enough for you.
Yeah, we want. I mean, we're just talking. We were trying, and now we're at the point where he's old, and we're like, well, we can retire here soon. Let's not f this up.
How's the podcast doing for you? You doing good?
It's fine. It just people like the Howard stuff. People enjoy this channel. I've talked to buddies of mine trying to maybe switch up what I'm going to do. People enjoy kind of hearing from you guys, and there's more. I got a couple other folks who have kind of said they'd come on. It's just fun to hear, and I like the stories. I like to hear about, just the E guys, and I'm looking.
Oh my God, the old school. Like my girl asks me all the time because Hank the Angry Dwarf was her favorite, and she's like, "Do you have any Hank the Angry Dwarf stories?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I met him." She's like, "That's enough for me."
Did you do anything with Beetlejuice? Did you ever have any interactions with him?
Oh my God, I had tons of interactions with Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was the shit. I never went out partying with him though, because he was always controlled by his handlers.
He's got a good.
Beetlejuice was smarter than the equipment. He knew what was going on.
Oh, so on this channel, I interviewed his guy Bobby Rooney. I think was it Jeff? Who was? Now I can't even think of the guy who's. Anyway, Bobby is handling him now. And we had this long conversation, and I walked away from it thinking, that's awesome. Beetle really does understand what the hell's going on, and he's winning this whole thing. He's the one who's winning.
Yeah. He's smarter than everybody. I keep telling people that. Nobody believes me. Dude, when I had my first boxing match and they had him dressed up like Don King, remember that?
Uh-huh.
I fought Angry Black. I won, but I got a draw, whatever. Fucking Beetlejuice was in the ring, and he literally said, like, I'm smarter than all these people. He said that. He goes, I make money. That's it. Because I was like, nice to meet you. I'm a big fan. And we talked for about 20 minutes, and he was fucking funny as hell, man.
Yeah. And
he's real. He was real. He was a little short on the attention and intelligence, but he was real. He knew what was going on. He knew he was being exploited. But he was exploiting them because, dude, who makes more money at appearances than Beetlejuice? He probably made more money than Stuttering John ever made doing comedy.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. How is your relationship with Tom Chiasano? Not now. I'm sure you don't have one.
I haven't heard from him in years. He retired with a big fat pension.
You guys, did you get along with him? I thought you did, right? He was okay to you.
Yeah, no, I got along with him too. He was like a dad, man. He was a really good guy. People don't realize what he had to control. Think of controlling that zoo. He was the zoo master.
Yeah, he was great.
You're controlling 50 out of control egos, me being one of them. And you got to put them on the radio, live on the air, and hope they don't fuck your station up and get it shut down by saying fuck or whatever. That's the thing people didn't realize. And you did because you worked in TV. Well, you can't swear. You can say whatever you want. You just can't swear. Well, or describe a bodily fluid incident.
Have you run into Artie lately? I have to say, I think you're doing better than Artie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I haven't. Thank you. I haven't heard from Artie. He changed his number, and last I heard, he was, doing good. But I don't know, because if he was doing good, don't you think he'd be out there making money, being on the road and shit?
Yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah. I think we'll read about him in an obituary, unfortunately, next.
That's not good. I hope not. I don't, because he does.
I hope not too, dude. He was the king. He was funny as hell, and he was a nice guy, but he's got problems. He's got troubles.
You guys ever get out and
troubles you can't escape.
You ever get out and party with him back in the day?
The one time I partied with him was when they did the benefit concert for me. After I got out of prison, the Lords of Brooklyn and some other guys got together, and Artie came and did some comedy. I think Shuli even did some comedy, and I hate that guy.
Why do you hate Shuli? What happened with that? What happened with Shuli?
I never liked him, man. He always tried to bury me on the air. Never liked him.
Yeah. Have you talked to Kane lately? What's up with Kane? You guys get along?
Talked to him the other day, probably a couple weeks ago. He's doing good. He's like a morning guy in Jersey now. He was in New York City, but now he's in Jersey.
Yeah.
He got fired from the old K-Rock, whatever it turned into. It's gone through like 16 different iterations after Howard.
Are you listening to the show? Do you listen to the show these days?
I haven't heard it in years, man. I never listened to it when I was on it, and I don't listen to it now. When I listen to the radio, I listen to music. I'm not a talk radio guy, and I've heard the Stern Show. I mean, I've heard it years ago, but I've heard it's not what it used to be. That's what I heard.
It's pretty depressing. It's depressing. So I've been doing a little wrap up here each day. I've thought, okay, I'll put out what he's saying and I'll listen to the show. So I've been listening like as a job, and it's hard. It's not fun. It's missing, I think, the cast of characters that would come in and a crazy Cabbie, a KC. He
used to use us so good, man. He was the master of ceremonies.
Yeah. And
I don't know what happened. He stopped doing all that and started interviewing left-wing liberal stars, and he's a Libby now too. Yeah.
Well, that's the second part that I've because I've been listening. This is the first time when Artie left, it was like, I don't need this show. And it's just not I don't want to hear him and Robin have a conversation.
Everybody says that, man. Artie was the ball breaker. When he left, it was everybody left too.
But making fun of celebrities was the secondary part. The constant bashing of Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen and all the people that now come onto the show. It's like,
yes. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah. How the mighty have fallen. But see, he doesn't care because he's got more money than God. So, I mean, what is he worth? Like $300 million or something?
Something. It's so weird though, because his father did just pass a couple months ago. I think over the summer last.
He did?
Yeah. So.
Oh, that sucks. I know he was really a family boy.
Yeah, but it's a lot of that. There's everyone who comes on, he has his psych session with. So, how are you doing? So we talked about a year and a half ago. You were doing well, it seemed. I know you're in a wheelchair still, but I know, and you had a fall. But you look good. You sound good. You're drinking red wine or pink wine. Tell me what's going on in.
Right now, I'm still on the mend. I had a spiral fracture of my first in September. Was it September? Yeah, it was September. I had a spiral fracture of my tibia and fibula. So that was my lower leg. I got surgery. They shoved a rod in my leg about this long. Seriously, he said it's the longest rod we can put in somebody. It's as long as your femur. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So it'll stabilize me. He goes, yeah. So they sent me home. I was in the hospital for 6 weeks because I couldn't put load weight on it. And I get home, and within 2 weeks, I fall again, and I shatter my femur. And did I send you pictures?
I think I saw a Facebook.
Yeah. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad. Thank God for the neuropathy in my lower body because I couldn't feel it as much. But, dude, it was the most pain I've ever been in my life.
That sucks. They
put a huge plate on my femur bone, and then they put it all back together around my knee. They got I think they got 10 or 15 screws, those long screws they shove in you. It's pretty insane.
Wah, 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 wah. See, there it is.
Exactly.
Well, it sounds like you're doing better.
Here I go crying again about my life, right?
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, and I know that you've been really battling. And
go fund me, man. Come on, let's make some money.
All right, you do that. Good luck. What Are you working? Are you good?
In a minute.
Are you working? Do you want to work? Can you work? Tell me a little.
I'd like to work, but I'm currently handicapped, so I'm on disability, and that pays my bills. But I would like to work, but it's tough for me to get around. I'm in a wheelchair, so travel is a bitch. And I'd work if somebody'd hire me. I don't know, but now with the internet and Zoom like this is crazy.
You could DJ from home. You could be playing Pantera's next greatest song right there from your house.
Pantera doesn't. I don't think Pantera has any more hits in left them. Aren't they all dead?
Yeah, Dimebag, I guess, I don't want to get into what happened to Dimebag, but it was a tough night for him.
Dimebag.
Yeah.
He was a good guy, man. He didn't deserve to go out that way.
So is it, and I don't even know if we covered this last, are you never going to walk, or is it possible to do anything that can help you?
Right now, it looks like never. I don't know. The possibilities of me healing, they don't know. They don't know because it's like a unknown thing, this neuropathy of the lower portion or neuropathy of any part of your body. I mean, dude, my legs are dead. They're like numb. I can stand, but I can't walk yet. I'm barely putting any pressure when I take a shit because I slide I got a commode over my toilet. So I slide from my wheelchair onto the commode. I get on the commode, I do my business, and I slide back without really getting up. So it's a battle, it's a struggle, but I don't know, I deal with it, and I hope to walk again, but I think it's going to take a lot of therapy and a really, really good therapist to help me. I had some with Duke, but they only came for a short time after I was out of surgery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem positive, though.
I am positive, man. Life's too short. I never get negative. I never have been a negative person, and I never will be. Even at the worst of times in my life, I can get through it.
Yeah.
Nothing can bring me down.